Take two.
Take two. Welcome back to the SH Creative Co podcast. Our second take at this title, I guess.
Oh yeah, the first one was kind of lame.
Yeah. So it's a good topic. We just didn't execute well. So, like we tell y'all, be excellent in things. We're gonna try to be excellent and redo it. This one is titled. First, these were two things that we thought of during the whole COVID Corona situation with churches. What's something that, because we've been gone for a little while, and so come back to the podcast like, what's something that's relevant that could be helpful. And so one of the big things right now churches are doing, are they transitioning from being online for the past 4 months to now they're in person. Yep. So how do you make that transition? That's kind of what we're going to talk about.
Yes. So my hope, I'll go ahead and start with this. My hope is that eventually get back to normal, but it's kind of not looking that way.
Yeah, everybody says there's going to be a new normal.
Yeah, new normal with contactless everything, which is going to be neat. It's going to be interesting to see how the church works through it. But I will say this. I think the quarantine has been useful for the church to make it more updated and, upgrade some things and move everything where it needs to go, which is more online. Yeah. Or helping the church move online, because there's some churches that have not made that jump yet, but I believe they did. Yeah. With all this, quarantine going on,
it's caused a lot of churches to think about their online presence a lot more.
Yeah, and
which is a good thing.
Yes, and able to reach people right where they're at with their phone. Yep. Anybody can just listen to a podcast or listen to live just right where they're at, which is awesome.
Do you remember when we were working at church, a lot of people would ask us, because of the demographics of our church, they'd say, can we reach more young people in our church? Oh, yeah. Well, young people, they're assuming like our age. We're in our late 20s, but they're probably thinking like college-age kids. So a lot of those people are online. Yes. And now, like when I was a kid, you're in church every single Sunday. It's not like that now. A lot of people, once or twice a month, they'll come to church. Other times they're at home. But when they're home, they may watch online. But if you don't have an online presence, then you're not reaching the younger people, or a lot of people. But a lot of pastors said, how do we reach more younger people? Well, they're online. Yeah. I am, at least.
Well, we talked a little bit about that while Mark was here. Yeah. Pastor Mark, about the decline in attendance. Mm-hmm. I haven't even looked at studies of online presence, but that might be a good one.
Because a lot of families are doing travel ball now, like we talked about with him. Oh, yeah. It's a great podcast. It's in 2 parts. You can go listen to it. He's actually going to be on, I haven't told Miles yet, he confirmed to be on in a couple of weeks talking about leading through this pandemic, which will be, I think, a great topic. So yeah, a lot of people are online, so you need to have an online presence. Yes. This was a good thing to get churches heading that direction.
Yep. And so what we're going to talk about, though, is when things are getting, where they might have a vaccine in the next few months or so and stuff like that, where we're transitioning back from online to in-person. We just want to go ahead and start that conversation so we can be prepared for it. Yep. But the first thing, I think the question needs to be asked for churches, or churches need to ask this, is it worth people coming back to the building church, to risk their family, to risk themselves, their lives, just for an hour on Sunday?
Mm-hmm. And a lot of people are probably going to ask that question to themselves. Yeah. Probably a lot of spouses are going to, hey, is it worth it, us taking the kids and risking it?
Because there's going to be a lot of church people that are going to think this vaccine is something else. Yeah. I don't think it is.
For instance, for the church we go to, this Sunday is the first Sunday they're going to have kids church and come back. So I don't know how it's going to look like as far. I think we're going. I'm not sure yet. Yeah. So that's the kind of conversation people are going to have. Hey, I think we should go. And there's some churches in our area that they're already meeting right now. Yeah. I've seen some pastors online. They say, if this virus doesn't stop you from going to the grocery store, why is it stopping you from going to church? Meaning the pastor's saying, hey, get back in church. So a lot of people are pushing for you to come back.
I guess so. But you can't buy, you can buy groceries online.
You can. I do it at Kroger all the time.
I do too.
All the time. And the guy just comes to my car.
I was about to slip my mind. You can't do that.
So people are already in church on Sundays, and then a lot of churches are starting to transition back to that. Yeah. It's going to be scary.
It is. I mean, the goal is to keep people safe and also make them know that they are safe. So they know that they're safe. Of course, you got the masks and, cleaning, really cleaning, and the 6 feet rule, stuff like that. But we think that there's going to be a shift towards more contactless items of the church. Things that were really, full of contact were like Connect cards, just general sign-up stuff.
Yeah, these are things we thought about. Like that maybe when you think about, hey, we're going to come back to church on Sunday, maybe something that passed your mind that we said, hey, what's something that needs to change? And so these are things that I think could be very helpful in changing, because there's a lot of less contact, like Miles was saying. And it's easy stuff you can do that maybe you haven't thought about. Maybe you're still passing around the offering plate, or you're still saying, hey, fill out a Connect card. Well, here's some ideas we have for you.
Yeah. So basically, it's all going to revolve around your website, and making your website simple to use, simple layout, and putting forms where people can sign up on your website.
So pause this podcast right now, go to your website and make sure it's actually working.
Oh yeah.
And then come back. And if it's not working, send us a message. We'd love to help you any way we can, or talk to your guy and say, hey, we need our website working.
Yes. Because it's going to, everything we say past this is really going.
I forgot to start. I just looked over and I forgot to start the timer. It's okay.
Everything past what we're going to say, at least most of it, is going to be revolving around the website. Yeah. Or some sort of form of that.
So let's just start with Connect cards. And if maybe you call them something different in church, when we say Connect card, we just mean if somebody comes to your church for the first time and you're trying to get their information, or just their name and all that stuff, and you put it on a card, that's what we mean by Connect card. So I go to your church for the first time, post, church is opening back up. You want me to fill out a Connect card. I don't want to touch a paper and a pen. What do I do?
And that's all the church has.
Yeah, because they're in the back of the pew or the back of the chair, and they're like, hey, will you fill out a Connect card for us? I'm like, no, because somebody put that there. I'm not touching it.
Let me fill in this Connect card.
So instead of saying, hey, fill that out, and I'm like, no, and you're like, oh, what else are we going to do? I'll fill it out for you. Just tell me. Have a second option, which would be?
To add a form on your website. You can either tell them to go fill out on your website, or this is what I'll just give them the story of when we were working at a church. Yeah. All right. So a few years ago, we were working at a church, and I was kind of the guy that took all the information, like the Connect cards, because that's the Connect cards, and basically put them all in the database, made sure they're fine, and put them in a safe place or whatever. Well, towards like the last year or so, when we were working there, we got on the bandwagon. We actually got a church app, which I don't recommend. Do not get a church app. It wasn't worth it. If you have a website, that's perfect. Yep. But we had an actual app, and on there, you can put on forms, and people can sign up that way, either sign up for our outreach or whatever. Well, anyways, I used to carry around an iPad towards the end of the sermon or end of the service, and people would come up to me. It was at like this tent. We had a tent outside saying Connect and for Connect cards. Mm-hmm. Anyways, they could fill out the iPad, press send, and it would send to a database, our actual email, and I would save it to a database like that. Yeah. And then I wouldn't have to worry about me trying to figure out people's handwriting if it was just a physical Connect card.
Losing the card,
anything like that. So what basically we're trying to say is to get that process right there. Yep. Is to find your website on your phone and just fill out on there their information in the Connect card, and just press send, and it would send to your email. Yep. I mean, that's basically it.
Easy. And that's a good idea now, but some people may still be, the mass 6 feet apart, so it may be hard to ask for, like, to use iPad and say, what's your information? But the online thing is great, and it's easy, especially.
Yes. They don't have to touch it. Nope. They can do it on their own. Yeah. That's how, if you actually did the COVID testing, did you do one?
I haven't done one.
Okay, so we done one, and it was terrible. I didn't like where they stuck it up their nose.
God, I don't want to think about it.
But anyways, before that, we had to, go talk to the lady outside, the nurse outside, and she was telling us, just go to our website. Yeah. It literally only took a few minutes. Go to our website, fill out you'll see a button that says COVID test or whatever. You click on that and you fill out the form, press send, and that was it. And that's basically the whole premise, because it's contactless. You're not spreading around germs. It's easy.
And it's something most people will not have a hard time doing. Yes. They know how to work their phone. They know how to get on their phone and do all that. And so it's the same with Connect cards. The same if somebody wants to sign up for an outreach or a small group. Yeah. Same form, basically, just different. You can put in different things you need information for.
Yeah, some churches have like different emails, like a small group email.
Yep.
A
volunteer outreach.
And you can get all these forms. And we know this because we do it on Squarespace all the time, because we have several emails and we have several websites that we have forms that'll link up to a different email. And we can get one to, send to one email or send to another email. And you can have it just easily organized. You don't have to worry about people's handwriting. It's just easy right there on your computer.
Yep. Let's see. So make sure your website's up. Make sure it's running. And these are all easy to put on your website, like we said. If you need help, you can message us. We'd love to help you any way we can. We want to make sure that you're able to still be as effective as you can on a Sunday.
Yeah.
We don't want somebody coming in on Sunday as first-time guest and you missing them because they didn't want to fill out a Connect card, or maybe you took all the Connect cards out and they want to get involved, but they don't see how, and you didn't mention anything about online. I think it's a great idea.
Yes, and this will also it'll help you move along with what you've been doing already with getting more technical if you haven't already.
Yeah.
With just computer stuff, all those things that you're pushing forward. Another thing that we was going to talk about with going contactless is giving online.
We use what company we use when we were at church?
Easy Tithe. And that one was good. I wasn't. I mean, they weren't bad.
Yeah.
We enjoyed. They gave good spreadsheets if you wanted to look over it, and they kept up with donors and kept up with a lot of different things.
It takes me, the church I go to, I give online. It takes me less than like 2 minutes because my card's saved.
Yep.
The amount I give each time is already like automatically in there because it just knows that, hey, this is what you give. So I just log on and there it is, the amount, my card, give, boom, I'm done. It'll be that easy for other people. And so older people that may have a tough time with their cell phone, you may have to help a little bit, coach them through it. But other than that, it should be easy for most.
You can easily, if you have run into that problem, just put on your website, with the giving tab, like a directions on how to use it, or a contact button where they can contact you if they need to help set up everything.
Yeah.
A lot of people too, when we were using that software, is they would do like automated giving, so it would just be automated.
Oh yeah, and you just every 15th and 1st or something. And so that's a great way. And then some people may still want to just, if they're coming to church, they write a check and they just drop it somewhere. Hopefully you're not passing a bucket. Hopefully you just have like something somewhere people can just drop it.
A lot of people remember a lot of churches we've seen have the thing up front.
Oh yeah, and you just drop it in there.
Offering chest or something.
I prefer to give online. It's just so quick, easy. Some people have the text to give.
Yes.
That's another
Venmo.
great. Yeah.
People have been using Venmo.
Oh yeah, churches. You set up the Venmo account, any of that stuff now, like Venmo, PayPal, Cash App, text to give. If you can figure that one out, that's quick. People are using Venmo all the time. They can just send the church the money. Easy. So those are things. And then this last one. You want to talk about this last paragraph?
Sure.
We don't have answers for much of it.
Yeah.
Just something we thought about.
These are some things that it's when things are going to start seeming normal again. That's when, with this contactless stuff going on, it's going to seem a little bit harder. But it's not really hard. It's just another obstacle that the church has to figure out how to work with. And it's okay. But one of the things that the church is going to have to work with is having contactless compassion, which is basically showing love and to the community or to somebody, but at a safe distance, contactless. And it's going to be what's going through my head is it's going to be a little bit harder for people to be able to do that. Because it's so much easier to just like a post, just be compassion from a distance. But a lot of people don't want to be around other people at this time. But what's going to happen with somebody wants prayer, and it's really big into churches to lay a hand.
A lot of it's at the end. You have the altar time. People come forth. a lot of people want to come to the pastor or somebody on staff and want you to pray with them right there. And so that's going to be hard to be like, well, let's stay 6 feet apart and pray together. Or if they just come up there and they want to talk to you. That's stuff that I don't think a lot of people have figured out, or some people are just, being dangerous with it. But I would say be extremely safe. Because you want everybody to feel comfortable with it. And so I don't know what the answer is for it.
Yeah. Or, I mean, it kind of expands into like, we're about to go back into, actually, I think this weekend's probably starting at the giving school supplies to, to children in need and stuff like that. How do you go about that? You got people touching on bags and supplies, and then they're giving to children. I mean, what do you do?
I don't think this is in the notes, but like, what do outreaches look like now for a church?
It's got to be something different.
Because this used to be one of our biggest outreaches was a back to school bash. We'd have food, we'd have inflatables, we'd have the supplies. Man, people would go crazy coming to get that stuff.
The park that we had it in is closed.
Oh yeah, so I mean,
park closed.
So as a church, how do you still reach your community with this pandemic going on? So this stuff, that's a whole nother topic, I guess. Because outreaches are a huge part of, I believe, for a church in their community. So how can you still do that with all this going on?
Yeah, we'd like to hear in the comments if you have.
Yeah, maybe your church had I know last week for Elevation Church was Love Week, where they serve. Yeah. So I'd like to see how they did that for a whole week while being safe. I know a lot of masks were worn and stuff, but still clean up your city and stuff. You had to be close to other people.
Yeah. We might finally get rid of the side hug, though.
The side hug, finally, making people uncomfortable since the beginning.
Or the meet and greet after the worship.
A lot of people are going to be glad that's out of the service. Take the next 30 seconds, go greet your neighbor, and then come back. Made so many people uncomfortable. I think Misty hates it, don't she?
She hates that.
She hates that.
It's funny. I started to see her get up and go to the bathroom right after. And I didn't realize
when she knows it's coming. After this song, it's the meet and greet. Let me go to the bathroom. So maybe we'll finally get rid of some of those awkward transitions in the church that just need to be banished anyways.
Yes.
So that's pretty much what I have on the topic. You have anything else?
No, that's basically it. I mean, just your overall goal is to go contactless.
Yeah.
A lot of times you're probably already there with your website. You have the form already set up. There's a lot of churches that already have that, but utilizing it, using it to its full potential, that's what's going to work and make things work.
Yep. And just a reminder from what you heard, if you listen to last week's podcast, don't let your online presence die during this.
Yes.
Just let it stay strong, be strong, and you'll continue to reach everyone. Your audience stuff. Just don't let it crash now that you're starting to meet back in person.
Oh, should we tell them okay, so what we do with podcasts.
Yeah, they're kind of out of order.
Yeah, right now they're going to be out of order. So we try to do 2 podcasts every time we sit down.
Yeah.
So we did this one and another one, and the other one turned out great, but which you probably already heard because it's the week before this one. But this one was scheduled before it. So we're going to be referencing this one.
In the last one.
But it's in the last one.
Don't get too confused. Just listen to what we had to say in the other one.
Yeah.
But it's going to be a good one. Make sure you check out, we talked about it some, Church Motive. We just kind of finished it up, added some new features on there. Make sure you check it out, churchmotive.com. It's an easy way for if you don't have a graphic designer and you need graphics or sermon series, check it out. It's good stuff.
Oh yeah, and there's free graphics on there that people can just post on their social media. It's easy. You just go click on the one you want, right click it, save to a computer, and then that's
download it.
You don't have to sign up. You don't have to do nothing.
You can, if you want to, you can sign up for the newsletter and you get 30% off an order of $30. So it's good stuff. Miles is going to be out of town for the next week. When he comes back, we're going to do an episode with Pastor Mark on leading a church through this pandemic. If you are a pastor and you want to come on to here, we'd love to have you and ask you questions and let you promote your church in the area and stuff. So just reach out. You can reach us at shcreativeco@gmail.com, and we'd love to have you on.
Yes.
Is that it for you?
I feel like there's going to be something. There was something else I was supposed to say. Oh,
we have a new project working on.
That was it.
Oh, see?
That was
share it. Talk about it real quick.
No, I can't.
Are you gonna tell them?
We can't tell them. Right? Get excited. This one's my favorite. I like Church Motive, but this one's gonna be my favorite.
I think so. This is gonna be a good one.
New project.
We'll fill you in on it as it shouldn't take too long. So in the next couple of weeks, you should hear about it.
Oh yeah.
All right, that's it for this episode. Check us out at shcreativeco.com. See you later.
See ya.